Recently, a YouTube video with a little over 6,000 views graced my recommendations, injecting the algorithm with a rare and essential vitality transfused through vulnerability, humility, and brutal analysis. Cultural Nihilism and the Rise of the Grifter by Jared Moore carries a title like most other video essays. In it, he attempts to carve out some distinction between art and content. Ironically, in employing all of the tools that content relies upon, cutaway gags, on-camera riffing, this thumbnail, he creates a rare piece of art. Why did it capture my attention? Why did it rocket to 1 million views in a few short nights? It felt like something that simply should exist. It deserved to exist on its own, and Jarrett just happened to be the one with the means to make it. Walter Benjamin famously offered us the concept of aura, that special lingering sense of perdurance that permeates from a good work of art. In his 1936 essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, he writes, "Even the most perfect reproduction of a work of art is lacking in one element, its presence in time and space, its unique existence at the place where it happens to be."
My journey to the US was not easy.
Bo Burnham's Inside, Naz's Illmatic, The Flemish Masters. These are all pieces with heavy, heavy aura. They capture a unique time, and in doing so, they persist. We still talk about them. Now, when my favorite album comes out, it's something I listen to on the bus, text a friend about later, and then promptly forget until the Spotify AI DJ summons it from the dead.
Yep. Everything now is disposable, man. How unfortunate for this world. They will never get to experience what it means to just lose yourself in an art piece, whether it's music, animation. Man, it's so bad these days. Man, even these videos I'm watching, it's like this video, next. Even though this is an important video, it's like it's treated as disposable because it's the job, man. You gotta just go through videos doing what you do.
Where's the distance? Where's the persistence? And what about what I make? Where does it exist? And how often does it persist beyond short-term memory? There's more to aura, of course. It has inaccessibility, authenticity, and uniqueness. It holds a distance between the viewer and the work itself. A Picasso is inaccessible. It often requires a trip to a faraway museum. La Guernica elicits a sense of raw and authentic suffering and brutality during the Spanish Civil War. And it is uniquely, unforgivably a Picasso. Nobody else could make it. La Guernica has aura. Now let's look at the average YouTube video. Firstly, YouTube is wildly accessible. Scared of spiraling in the existential dizziness of your own inner world? Thankfully, your digital pacifier is rarely ever more than an arm's reach away. And how about authenticity? More often than not, videos are to be uploaded, whether they should be or not. A sponsor has a deadline. The analytic...
Just like what I was saying, man, you just gotta work, man. It's not about fun and intuitiveness. It's about, just a lot of something instead of a little bit of something with great meaning. Yeah.
Roller coaster is in free fall, so you better throw your dart at that hot topic wheel and generate your milquetoast opinion before it's too late. And finally, there's uniqueness. Yes, YouTube is about being you, after all. But I haven't really felt like myself on here.
Yeah. The you in YouTube has expired a long time ago, bro. It's all about corporate stuff now.
In a long, long while. Drowned in my studies, YouTube became an annoyance, a thing that I was responsible for in order to make a certain quota every month just to keep things running. What was once an outlet for expression soon became a mirror to what I thought worked, what I thought the audience would like. For anyone beholden to the algorithm, fear can emerge as the primary driver in most of your creative decisions. And so I made a community post.
Yep, fear runs all, man. That's what they like, fear. You gotta work or you don't get paid. I mean, sometimes they even put fear on you when you upload something and you used to get views, now you're getting a little bit of views when the videos are still the same. Man, what's that about? Huh?
A moment of vulnerability between the audience and myself. Something that has never really led me astray. I'll elaborate on what I wrote here. The truth is that accounting and taxes and wages, as well as a few bad business calls, can quickly turn into the death rattle for any YouTube channel. I didn't realize how thin of ice I was on, that a month without a sponsor could so quickly land me in the red. And then I had another, sadder thought, that this channel had become a vessel for sponsors. I always struggled with this tension. The videos I cared most about, I always refused to slap sponsors on because I felt it would somehow dilute the aura.
Gotta make your money, bro. We all gotta make our money, man. You can't have aura these days unless it's off the internet, you know, around people you're comfortable with, not sharing it to the masses, because YouTube ain't about that aura. They're about... I don't even want to get into what they're about. It's so messed up.
At the same time, this would fund my ability to make what I wanted to. But once sponsors became few and far between, the emphasis turned to securing funding. And the sad truth of the matter is that many sponsors care little about what you're making, without recognizing that the quality...
As long as you have those views to get people looking at their ads, that's all they care about.
Of the content is actually what often drives conversion rates. You are forced to keep posting, reducing quality, all to keep up the house of cards and pay the bills.
It's like these videos just find me these days, you know? Man, at least the algorithm is good for that. Sometimes.
But if the channel offers neither creative nor financial certainty, then there's little reason in continuing, right? And before I go further, I should assure you at this point that there was never a dream to make YouTube my full-time profession. That's ludicrous. YouTubers are subcontractors, beholden to a private company that makes algorithmic tweaks and guideline shifts on a whim. It is a...
Yep, on a whim. Sometimes I see you growing and then they're like, hey, he's growing too fast. Let's slow him down.
Largely unstable venture, but it is a good one for the short time it works. But the lifespan for most channels is pretty short, especially the good ones. It is hard to maintain Benjamin's distance when so much of the platform is seemingly anti-art. No, I didn't write that post to maintain
Anti-everything that's good for you. Just slop. That's the word they use these days. Slop.
my career as a professional YouTuber. I've worked many jobs before, and I'm training for a more stable one now. Truthfully, I wrote that post to ask if it was worth it to continue YouTube because it was becoming increasingly less apparent from my perspective as to why I should keep making videos. And I also wrote to ask if there was any help, if there was interest in keeping the channel afloat. I'm not good at asking for help. Our Patreon is extremely underfunded compared to the size of the audience, and
you know we all need that Patreon as artists, man. Patreon.
The appreciative emails I receive each day. But judging by the substantial reaction, I realized that this is largely due to my own discomfort in asking for support, in admitting some failure and weakness.
Gotta ask for that support. It's not like they're not expecting you to ask. They know the struggles of being an artiste these days. Everyone knows now.
Ironically, in finally asking for help, I was reminded exactly why the channel worked in the first place. There was a time where I was more vulnerable, where I engaged in poetic and emotionally resonant monologues over heartbreak, despair, and identity. And usually it required nothing more than a drawing tab and a shitty mic.
Hey, if you want to get rid of your beer belly in time for summer, check this out. Hey, Dr. Drew, do celebrities...
Good commercial. We all should lose weight. It's getting kind of crazy with all the obesity going around. Work out, people.
And this is what people wanted. No glitz or glamour, no 20-minute heavily researched essays. And I honestly preferred making that stuff back then. But what did I have back then that was missing exactly? I suppose I was in the midst of living, of existing for the past few years, trying to figure out what I wanted in life, making considerably far too many mistakes, never quite landing on solid ground. In doing so, I became far too accessible. I was open to whoever I met, seeking answers in their reactions to my own misery. I lost my authenticity, a man without a compass, willing to follow others for some truth. And I lost my uniqueness, largely through fear. I was ungrateful for myself, for the aspects that people did actually celebrate.
They want us all to be zombies, consuming the same thing all the time, man. Uniqueness will go away once you start YouTube. It starts out fun and everything, then they say, hey, let's put this guy's views down. We gotta make him do what we want him to do. Talk about garbage that makes no sense, but it feeds the masses though, right?
I forgot how to be vulnerable, to be weak. I was ashamed of it, and I wanted to be some sort of savior. By May 2025, I felt hollowed out, empty, and bitter. The damage was done. How could I make content, let alone art? And yet, up until now, I couldn't conceive that those moments of failure and shame and uncertainty were actually guiding lights for others. The channel is not a business, it's a lighthouse. And while I don't intend to persist on this platform forever, I now understand the utility it has served for others. And I'll try to take better care of myself to sustain the light. And this means being more honest with you all, firstly, because I have a great audience here and a great team, so if you've ever found a light in these videos, know that your support now helps keep the lamp burning.
Yes, we all need that light, man. Light.
Not for content, but for art. Thank you.
Peace.